You're live.
It is October 8th. I'd like to call our regular meeting of the Board of Finance to order. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, you got it from your computer.
Okay. So, tonight we do not have Glenn in attendance, so I'll be running, but everybody else is present.
Got it.
There's nobody here for public comment? Okay. And communication and correspondence.
Yep, we received emails from Andy Correa on September 28th and October 2nd, Irene Correa on October 1st, and Matt Grimes on September 25th.
Approval of minutes from previous meetings.
I move to approve the regular meeting minutes from last month, September 10th, 2025, and our special meeting minutes from September 29th, 2025.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Motion passes. Okay, Steve, you're up.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Can we move to these guys? They don't have to-
Absolutely.
Does that make
Um,
us?
Yep, so I will, let me just think. Okay, I'll make a motion that we move, the Police Outside Services Department, and is this the building ad hoc, to, up ahead of the, First Selectmen's report. Do I have a second? Thank you, Brian. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, welcome to the table, darling.
Come join us. Our recording's there.
I have a request for appropriation of $70,000 from the Police Outside Services Fund for the purpose of purchasing a 2026 Dodge Durango Pursuit. This request for funding through the Outside Services Fund for the capital purchase of the patrol vehicle and completed. It is for the purchase of the patrol vehicle and related equipment. During the fiscal 2026 budget process, the police department proposed a capital budget which included funding to replace 3 police vehicles. However, the agreement of both the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance was, and this funding would be removed from the capital request, and it's understood that the request would instead be brought forward and considered for funding through the outside services. This request has gone through the process of approval for the Police Commission on 9/3, and then the Board of Selectmen at their last meeting 2 nights ago.
Yeah, I'll just remind everybody,
Yeah.
we talked about this in the budget. There were some late changes to the budget, and we would kind of make everything fit, and the police department was willing to do this, which was really helpful to us. The capital committee fully supported, I fully support it. I appreciate that you're willing to do it. Next year, we're not gonna ask you to buy your own cars. This is a one-off.
It's recorded.
It's a recording. That is not the strategy, is to have anything but 3 vehicles funded every year through the cash capital. That's the strategy of the town, and we've got to execute that. We appreciate that you did this year.
And this year, with the massive increase in health insurance, the increase in electricity, we were really hard pressed to get a budget that worked, and so these guys are kind enough to work with us. And I don't think it should be a normal
Absolutely
every
not.
year. It just shouldn't, right?
I'll second it.
Yeah. Yeah, let me make a motion.
Yeah, okay, I wasn't sure if you had a
Um,
motion, that's
So,
fine.
yeah, I'll make the, sorry.
We're a lot.
I'll make a motion to approve the request for an appropriation of $70,000 from the Police Outside Services Fund for the purpose of purchasing a 2026 Dodge Durango Pursuit as approved by the Board of Selectmen at their October 6th meeting. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Yes, we had some.
Insert
You
myself
started
there.
the discussion prior, that's why you're confused. For 7 years, I didn't figure this out.
That's my bad.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed?
If it makes you feel better, I didn't either, and I've been on as long as you guys, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
I'll wait.
Okay.
So, can we, he wants to get this signed. So if I can
Oh.
sign it and you'll sign it and give
Yep.
it to the chief,
Yep.
right, does that make sense? Can I
That's
borrow
okay.
your pen?
If we want, I can make a motion for the police special space assessment so that we can have a discussion about that. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the request to update the 2017 Brookfield Police Space Needs Assessment in the amount of $30,000 for revised schematic designs and cost estimates, with funding to come from capital non-recurring fund as approved by the Board of Selectmen at their October 6th meeting. Do I have a second?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, so we're
Sorry.
approving the
We-
$30,000?
This is a motion to approve so we can discuss it.
Got it, okay,
Yeah,
understood.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sonia, Nahid,
I second.
okay. All in favor? Oh, sorry,
Oh, no, no, no,
discuss.
discuss.
Let's discuss.
To discuss, yeah.
Let's
I
have a
know.
discussion. Yes,
Now I get it.
yeah.
Chief.
Robert's rules.
This was just signed September.
So I'm
Oh,
not familiar with the 2017 needs assessment, so I don't know what would be in it, you
You sign
know,
here.
what we're getting for 30,000. Is there like a statement of work or something?
Oh.
I listened to the Board of Selectmen meeting, so I know a little bit, but not very much. So is there a statement of work that's been developed for this?
Well, let me give you a little background on what the ad hoc committee is, what our charge is. And we've been meeting since January. We were formed in January of 2025. And our purpose is to make a recommendation to the Board of Selectmen and to the town, basically, as to how to properly solve for the problems of the police department relative to space. In 2017, when I was still chief, we did a facility needs study, funded through the Outside Services Fund and so forth. In addition, later on, we added a second $15,000 in funding to the original 25 to support a schematic design for a new build scenario. The original thinking back in 2017 was we were going to try and add on and renovate our building. When the prices came in, we saw what it was going to cost. We said, you know, given how much money that is, would it make sense if we went ahead and looked at what a new building would be? And we funded that with $15,000. And we have schematic designs. We did the facility needs study. The study is still pretty valid. Even I think John can attest to most of the facts that were included in that study were valid in terms of the predictions of department size and so forth. The department grew a little quicker, I think, than what we anticipated, but it was within the range of what the long-term forecast was. That was driven by the school resource officers and that sort of thing. And anyway, here we are today in 2025, and the Board of Selectmen created this ad hoc committee to bring that study up to date, to see if things have changed relative to what the study has shown, and to make recommendation to the Board of Selectmen as to what path the town should take. Should we add on and renovate, or should we build new? If so, where? If we decide to build new, what should happen to the old building? A recommendation type thing, that sort of thing. So with that in mind, this request was put through to the Board of Selectmen for Monday night's meeting. And it basically says, specifically the funds will be used to modify some of the listed space allocations for both the addition, renovation, and new build scenarios, and to include others that were identified through the committee's work. Additionally, new schematic designs will be produced for the updated and amended specifications. Site suitability evaluations for both scenarios will be included. An updated cost estimate for the projects will be provided, along with an inflation adjustment looking forward for several years. The finished product will be used by the committee in its public outreach to the community, seeking input to guide the committee towards its final recommendation to the Board of Selectmen. In terms of a statement of work, we're going to pretty much parallel exactly what we did when we went to the RFP to make the original study. Those factors are still valid, the schematic design, site work, things of that nature. What we don't have to do is the needs survey, because that's been accomplished, and in view of the committee and the police, that's still a valid study. What we do need to do is take a look at some of the things that have changed, The most notable thing that has changed is the acquisition of the Grimes property, which is adjacent to the existing building and adjacent to the site we had cited the new build scenario. So how can that enhance what we're gonna do? How does that change things? We're also looking at some of the givens that we looked at in terms of covered or protected parking, interior parking. We looked at trying to house all the department's special vehicles and all the patrol vehicles. That's a big space. So we're thinking now we might want to just house the special vehicles to include the motorcycles, the command vehicle, the school vehicle, the trailers, the boat, the Polaris, things of that nature. House those internally and then have some sort of a parking scheme outside that would have a carport or something like that. So we want to have that design all put together and ready to go when we do public outreach to the community. This 30,000 should do that. It's a best guess number. We're hoping to be able to use the same vendor who's done all the survey work for the prior addition renovation and the new build scenario. That being the case, we have to go through town purchasing and follow their procedures, of course. I've already spoken with finance and the purchasing agent on how this can be facilitated. And we think the 30,000 should be sufficient to get us some really good working schematics that will accomplish our goal.
So we've already done this in 2017, and we've put like 25 plus 15,000 in it?
Right.
Like 40,000?
Correct.
This is the next step in being able to bring it to the town, bring it to our residents, let them give us input, get understanding of what we want to do. One of the critical things, and we planned this years ago, is to buy the Grimes property, because that gives us a lot more options, right? And it was specifically bought with the intention of either putting a new police station there, right, or adding on and rehabbing the existing one. I'm not a fan of putting a police station right here in these two fields, like where the farmer's market is. And the rental we have there is great, it's fine, but that wasn't the reason we bought that property. We bought it primarily so we could expand. It was always, the town had a 20-year first right of refusal on that property, and it expired without being renewed. So then Joe Grimes was kind enough to work with the town. We got a reasonable price for the property. And the other thing that worried me about that property when we bought it is that was a pre-existing non-conforming use as a contractor's yard. So a contractor could have come in and rented all of that space out for guys with their trucks and piles of dirt and rocks and whatever. I don't think we want that on our campus, anywhere near our campus. So it will serve two purposes. It gives us more room to think about what we're going to do with the new police station.
You already bought that, didn't you?
Yeah,
I'm
we-
sorry?
You don't have to
we bought
reconvince
that.
us, you already
Yeah.
bought the property.
We already-
You don't
we
have to
own the
reconvince us to
property.
buy the property.
Okay.
We
and
own the
Can I ask a
property.
question?
There,
So-
like, what?
Yeah.
How long do you think it'll take to get the RFQ out and to get bids back? And I'm sure that while you probably have the one that did it before, they might be naturally more competitive. You probably want to try to get multiple bids. How long do you think it'll take before you get the RFQ out and the bids back, and you're at the point where you want to make a decision to go and make
The turnaround's pretty quick on this.
a week, a month, 3 months?
We were empowered to do this by our last meeting, so I can get in to see purchasing and talk to Jules, and he can draw up the documents quickly.
Well, let's be clear we're understanding. Are you saying the RFQ for the schematics or the
No, when you're ready
RFP for
to sign a
new-
contract with a
to be
group to
built?
do a work. No, to
Just to
spend
do
this
work?
$30,000.
Oh, yeah, that'll go pretty quickly.
A month?
Yeah.
Here's why I'm asking, I don't want to,
Yeah.
you guys, I don't
No,
want to.
Brian,
Okay.
go.
Okay. So
Because
you-
honestly,
yeah.
this is your capital committee, so
Yeah.
chair, so this is.
So, first of all, I don't want to speak for all of us, I think I will. We understand that the police department building is like the top priority in the town. We want to do everything we can to support that and don't want to get in the way of slowing anything down, right? So, anybody disagree with that?
Not
Right,
at all.
we're all there, right?
100% agree.
It's asking for 30,000 without having a statement of work, without having bids, without having where you want to go, is not standard for us to do. And if it was in the budget cycle, we wouldn't have accepted that. And so it's not in our nature to just say, yeah, you can have $30,000 without that information. So, one thing that we can do if it works, I want to ask if this works, is ask you to get the RFQs out, get the bids back, evaluate them as quick as you can, as you need to, and when you're ready to go, then we can either have a special meeting to approve it, or we can do it at the next meeting in 4 weeks if it lines up well, because we don't want to slow you down. But I'm not really comfortable just, 30,000 is probably a reasonable number, but it's kind of a random number too.
Yeah,
So-
it's a best guess based on, I belong to a volunteer firehouse in Danbury, and we're moving, doing that for our facility, and that's in line with the bids.
And again,
Now,
And again, we're hoping too, that the original firm that bid on the initial project would be able to be far more competitive.
I would think they'd be far more competitive, because they're updating where another one would have to take something they didn't do.
Right.
And so, and if it was 40,000 for 2 pieces for the first time, 30 sounds like it might be a lot, so maybe it's less.
I think
It
my
might be
concern
less.
is also this, that we did that, we put 40,000 there, 8 years later, we're again back at the same place and we're again putting money in, another 30,000. I like what Ryan's saying.
Would that work? Because again, we don't want to slow you down.
We can make it work.
Okay.
We can make it work. I
We,
mean,
we also want to be cognizant, because Jay and I have talked about this even 7 years ago. There are very few firms who do these kinds, who do police stations. There are firms that almost specialize, like the firm we used previously. So we're going to have a limited market for people who can come do this, right? The town purchasing rules do allow us, under special circumstances, to not go to bid. I don't have a problem with going out to bid, right? I think we'll get the most competitive price from the current vendor, but we can go out and get an idea.
Yeah, I
But we
mean,
want to
my-
make sure we hire someone who really knows how to build police stations. That's
Yeah,
what we.
my concern is that I was presented with the bid when I first came on the board, back in 2018, I think it was presented when they were doing all the library stuff too. And I agree that I think it is the town's top priority and I wanna go through with it. But I think you obviously know better than me, but with the Accountability Act and everything, the requirements have changed from when that design was done. So I would rather know that we're working with a bid that would account for any changes, like they could be bigger changes than we anticipate, with the use of.
I wouldn't
building.
anticipate that because the Police Accountability Act basically brought forth the CALIA standards,
Yeah,
and the design and the facility needs study was done based on CALIA standards.
okay,
So
That's good.
that should not be a concern.
okay.
That's good to know.
But I do prefer having an RFP and working, because we don't want to have to, it would slow you down if you had to come back also and ask for more money because the estimates came in higher.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a solid number to work with, but I agree that I'm
And
happy to have a special meeting.
I will, drop
as
what
soon
I'm
as you
doing,
have-
and make
Yeah,
it
I think we
happen.
all
I-
would
I
be
think
I
very
think
that's
we all
perfectly
would, we
fine.
all would, yes.
Right.
Because you're our top
We'll put this
priority
on the front
anyway,
burner tomorrow.
but we
Yes.
make
If
everyone
that's what
else
you
do
want.
this.
Right, yeah, so we won't slow you down, but as soon as you have what you want to do and how much it's gonna cost, like the next
Okay.
day, we'll figure out how to get
Makes
it.
sense for me.
And
Yeah.
by the way, I understand we think these guys will be the most competitive. The best way to have most competitive is have somebody else bidding too, right? We all
Like
know
I say, that's out of my hands. I don't have
Yeah.
anything to do with that.
So Julie's,
It's-
yeah.
We have an existing vendor
Right.
who did the cert.
Right, likely would be the best. But
Needs service.
if I knew I was the only vendor
From the get-go.
bidding on it,
I think
my
they're
price
gonna
would
be the most
higher.
competitive and the most responsive, because they have all the work that they've done
Right. But we
previously.
have
You
to,
can-
we have to see.
You can move that along, like
I-
you can get it out right away.
Right. I will also
Okay.
make sure that you guys, do you have that specialty? You may not still have it. I'll send
I
it to you
don't, no,
tomorrow.
it's right.
The actual,
The 2017.
it's pretty
Yeah.
thick. I'll send it to
I
you.
Oh,
have it in a bookshelf at home.
I'll take it.
I'll
Because
send
it
it
was
to
pre my
everybody,
time
just
on
so
the board.
everybody's
I always
witness
like to
it.
read.
Pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, so I would do that. So as soon as you're ready, let Steve know, let
So
whatever,
we
let
need to
know,
vote,
and we'll just,
Yeah,
I
just
mean, we
let us
won't
all
wait for
know.
a regular scheduled meeting.
Yeah,
'cause
and
that'll
we've
slow
been
you
on
down.
call meetings together within, a day or two's notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
We need to we need to vote on the motion. So all in favor?
Wait, did we make a motion? We
No, I
did.
think
we
you're gonna
discussed.
amend this motion to table it,
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
correct.
we're tabling.
We just,
Yeah, because we're not gonna,
or just
I
not
know.
take a vote and then
Oh.
make a motion
let's
to,
just table the
table
motion.
it.
Right.
now.
okay.
Put it on.
Do I need to make a motion for that?
Right.
Motion?
Yeah, I don't know if we have to make a motion to table, do
Do
we?
we just-
did you say the motion first before
I
you
did
started
say,
this
I said the
discussion?
motion
Yes,
before we had
and
the
it was-
So
discussion.
withdraw the motion,
Okay, I make a motion to withdraw the motion. That's on the
Right.
table.
and now you make a new motion.
Although we gotta,
Yeah,
in favor of withdrawing.
Aye.
In favor of
All in
withdrawing the
favor.
motion?
Did I get
Yes.
a second?
Okay.
Yeah, he seconded it.
I You did Robert's rules cheat sheet tonight.
We're just putting you through all this. Last few meetings are making this real tough.
Now motion to table.
Yeah, so now I'd like to make a motion to
Table.
table the motion for the design of the police station. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry.
We love you. We just want you to know we do.
All right, we're at you, back in the call.
You're back in call.
Thank you, both of you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Okay. Now
Well-
we're back to the report of the first selectman.
Okay, I won't take a lot of your time tonight, because I know everybody wants to get home, and this is my third night.
Oh my
out,
gosh.
And I have another meeting tomorrow night. This is gonna be a long week for me. 20 Station Road, they've started removing the hazardous materials from these reports we're getting back from the company that's removing the contaminated material. This is the second most contaminated site in the state of Connecticut. And so it's going right according to plan. The hazardous materials are being removed. Given the volume, it's been difficult for the company to get entities to take this much contaminated material, but they're following every rule. Our people are there, our agents are there watching it. It's working really, really well. And I would expect they'll be finished in the next, by the end of the year, maybe sooner. It's going pretty quickly, right? But every time they find something, then they test, then they have to go another 2 feet and they test. So they're getting there, they're getting there. And on that, the town portion, you're gonna get to that, you'll see it in the budget. We had allocated $120,000 for the town portion. We're only gonna spend $60,000, and we don't think we need any more money for the town portion.
That's great.
That's good. We're going to be, shortly, we're going to be in the parking lot on your little map. You'll see here where the parking, where we hope to put a parking lot. That's where the glass recycling is now. We have just put in a Metro Store food scrap recycling facility. We'll have that up and running in the next couple of weeks. It's an app-driven. You get the app from the town. It's free. We just don't want people dumping junk in there. So as a resident, you come, you get on the app, you go, it opens, you put your food scraps in, and we hope that to be the first of a few. This equipment and all of the activity, the cost of recycling is being absorbed right now by HRRA, so we're getting it for free. And based on conversations I've had with residents, we're gonna be using that. Ridgefield has like 4 of them already in place, and they're doing really well, so more and more and more we go along those lines, and that's a good thing. There's an election coming up. We are completely ready for that election from the town. Early voting is going to be available to residents. Early voting will occur here in Town Hall in room 133. The actual November election day, the 4th, we will be voting at the Brookfield High School and at Candlewood Lake Elementary School, because both schools have that day off, right? And that'll work well. We have a new town clerk, interim town clerk, BB Holmes. Statutes, our statutes and ordinance and charter require us, quote, to appoint a new town clerk as soon as practicable on an interim basis. We've hired her almost like as a contract worker for 30 days, right? She's not getting benefits, she's not getting retirement, things like that. And if she gets elected, then we will appoint her. She's working hard and learning a lot as she goes along. The registrars are completely set. We're looking at having police presence. They're still double checking that for the election. Things seem to have calmed down. We should be good there. We should be good. We're working very closely. We have an operations plan, an emergency operations plan, that the chief of police, the registrars, and other local authorities, we've gone through. We're ready for any contingency. We're ready for that. If we lose power, if anything happens, we have backup sites. We're all ready to do that. I don't want to get into the real nitty-gritty details, But I think everybody should be comfortable that our voting will be quick and seamless and work well. If it happens like it did in the last election, over 50% of the people voted early last time. I was really surprised. Although granted it was a presidential, but still, I thought maybe 20-30% would vote early. I think we're gonna get a similar number because it works really well, people can come. We're gonna have 2 days where people can come till 8 o'clock at night to vote for people who work. That's posted on our website, and that's going pretty well.
It was nice on the actual election day, there were not, I was not caught up in it at all. I just, you know, the normal, you know, you have the normal, there wasn't any of that.
No,
And
no,
I
it-
appreciate the signs around town, because I
Oh,
think a lot of people
great.
don't know about the municipals, and
Correct.
they're pretty much.
I agree.
I appreciate
every
it.
major
Yeah.
intersection
Yes.
there's been
yeah,
notification.
it should work well.
It's been
Again,
great.
typically, we get about 45-46% of the electorate to come out and
For
vote.
Presidential,
Presidential's much higher.
yeah, we get
Right
like
around 90.
13%.
Yeah.
I wish more people would come out to the municipal, but it is what it is. And we're ready for that. And I'm gonna call that for a night, unless you have any questions or issues.
I have one question. Do you have an update? I know, like, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 meetings ago, you had said another cell phone tower company. Is that,
Yes, yes.
we got anywhere with that? Or
We had
anything
that,
like
another cell phone company came to the town and discussed the possibility of us building a tower back on the original site.
Yep.
Given the feedback from our residents, right, at the hearing that we had that went on for 3 hours, we had 299 people against the cell tower
Mhm.
in the Gursky property, and 1 for. It's pretty clear to me, if we had brought that to a town meeting and spent the $10,000 to do a vote on it, I think it would have gone down. The second thing was, the offer that was made by the cell phone company, if you remember, to lease the property, they wanted to charge $300,000 to build a road, and they wanted the town to pay for that.
Right.
So-
Didn't you say there was a new cell phone company?
Yeah,
that
they
came?
come and made, they said, we would build a cell tower there for you,
Right.
right? If the town requested it, at this point in time, I don't see how we should do that.
What
Right?
are the requirements for the police radios? Like, I know the one,
Yeah.
the 5G tower that's down in the sand cut area. Like
Oh, the
that,
Vale.
The
and
Vale Road.
that one will have our equipment, but what are the needs for the emergency services?
So
This-
Homeland Tower, they gave us the maps of coverage
Yeah,
from Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, I believe. And all of those maps show there is a limited coverage in the northeast section of Brookfield. They need those maps and that proof of need, and the maps are proof,
Right.
and a place.
But
They have a lease on a property, so they can build the tower.
do we know?
Our
if that's
EMS, fire, and
happening?
police have said we have limited coverage in the northeast section.
But the last time we all talked, you had said that, and Miheen had said maybe the message is a little skewed, because if it goes on private property, we have to pay to be on that cell
Yes,
tower.
that's correct.
But if it goes on town property, we don't have to pay, which is
Correct.
saving us quite a bit of money, which then in turn goes to taxes and not being
Yep.
charged. So, to your credit, I don't wanna put words in your mouth, but you had that great idea that maybe the message just isn't clear enough, because if it goes on a private property, nobody has anything to say and it costs us money.
No.
And I know there's a petition going around, and people are really not happy about the private property.
Oh,
They're
You
losing
know,
their minds, including the condo complex that it's gonna affect.
last night I talked about this at the debate,
Mhm.
and we made it very clear, I said it a number of times. The town has one opportunity to affect the placement of this tower by putting it on town land.
Right.
The residents all were against it and said, no one will allow a tower on their private property. And what I said repeatedly, over and over, they will find somebody who will, there is a number that someone will say, you can put it in my backyard. And they have someone at 42A Hiddenbrook.
Right,
Right.
no, I know, maybe I'm just not in a long vein, maybe my words aren't coming out.
I hear what
I
I'm-
think-
can I try-
Can you try
Yeah,
for
so I
me, since
think
you have
what
half
I'm
my
hearing-
name? Can you
Yeah.
tell me, because you have half my name? Hopefully you
I'm
have
sure.
the smarter part of my
What
brain.
I'm hearing is, if there is an option that another company would come in and put a tower on
Mhm.
town land, if that's
Yeah.
still an option,
Yeah.
there's probably, instead of one person being for that, now that people understand what the real second option is, if you had another town meeting, it would be
It might
a,
potentially
could be a
quite
very
different.
different
Thank
vote.
you,
Now,
Brian.
I don't know if that's a real option or not.
Yeah.
But
But
if
you
it
did
is a
say another
real
cell phone
option-
company
Yeah.
approached you for doing it on the town
Right.
property.
Yeah,
And if
you
that
know,
could
I'll
also
go back to
stop
them,
the
I'll
other
have
one
a
from happening.
conversation with
But
them.
it wasn't Homeland, it was a different company.
It was a
that
different
said.
company,
Right, so
yeah.
I would go, that's what I'm saying, I would go back to that company, I
Yeah.
would find out what their deal is, cause maybe it was better than Homeland, and then I can guarantee you that the people that are signing the petition that are not happy, thank you, you probably had a little bit of a different
I
outcome.
think you're right, there's a certain portion of people that say, ooh, the lesser of two evils.
Right.
But there was a huge portion of people say, oh no, it's health, it's this,
Right,
it's
because
that, the other.
everyone
But-
thought if we say no,
but-
no
but
tower
the-
goes anywhere.
The option of
Right.
it, but now
So
they're
that's
seeing.
why-
so
No,
it's
I
the
said
middle
no.
Nobody
ground.
said it.
But
Once
see,
you
now
said
it's eating,
know you
now
did.
what you said and you warned everybody was gonna
Yeah.
happen, so there's a different situation now. Which it
Right.
might bring different views, like, oh, this is actually, people don't ever believe that it's gonna happen, but it did.
It is
Yeah.
happening. It is
Right.
happening on 42A.
Ooh, I
It's
knew it
not,
was gonna
it's not on the
happen.
siting council yet, I keep watching every day, it's not on their plans, they
They
don't
have
have
not, they haven't filed
it.
yet.
They haven't filed yet, but, so my point is maybe we do get in touch with the other cell phone company, because now it's an actual, like,
Yeah.
what Steve said was gonna happen now. So now we can talk about it.
I will talk to them and see if that's still an interest on their part. They were willing to put the tower where Homeland wanted to put it, but the financials were terrible.
The Homeland financials,
Homeland.
we don't even know
But
what the
this
other
other
financials
company
are.
may not charge the $300,000 to
Right.
build the road in
Yeah.
and negate.
Right.
They might wanna be
something.
here bad enough that it won't matter.
Okay,
Some
well, you
people
know what, I'll
think
have another
Homeland made a
conversation with them and I'll talk to the board and we'll make a decision whether we wanna pursue that. Not a bad
Great.
idea.
Because it spreads better financials up. We're a team.
We still wanna get cell phone coverage for that area of
Exactly.
town.
At the end of the
Right.
day, that's what we need. We need the cell
Right.
phone coverage
Yeah.
for that part.
We're
of
not
the-
saying that the
Just
cell phone
what's
coverage
now.
is not important, it's just there's a different variable now
Yeah.
that.
No, it's the same variable, but people didn't believe it.
Right.
I think.
But
Yes,
that's what I'm
yes,
trying-
yes.
But
That's
The
what Brian
police, fire,
was
They
saying.
have new
EMS.
information.
here's the thing, police, fire, and EMS, and the maps say that we need coverage in the Northeast. The siting council will go, absolutely, you can
Right.
build a tower. They're not gonna turn it
Oh,
down.
Yeah.
no, I get that. I just know that it's not on their docket yet, so
Yeah.
I still feel there's time for a negotiation with another cell phone
Yeah.
company or.
Yeah, I'll see how that would work, right?
Yeah.
And what about Iroquois? I know that there's a petition about the electric compressor and we're. writing
Yeah, so
letters,
we
but-
filed, I'm sorry, I should have brought that up. I talked about it at the Board of Selectmen meeting. So Brookfield filed for an adjudicatory hearing, which means that they meet, the commissioners meet, and we make our case for what we think should be in the permit that Iroquois is given. When they issued their permit, they really do this oddly. They issue a permit with no public hearings. Then, if they're forced to, they have a public hearing. Now, I don't know why you wouldn't have a hearing before you issued a permit, so you could put in, and we went to them and said, here, we want electric compressors. We want ambient air testing before, during, and after, right? We want better security. All these things, we asked them for four main things, and staff on duty. They issued a permit, and then the hearings are kind of an afterthought. And so they issued a permit with no restrictions whatsoever than their normal restrictions. So we applied for a adjudicatory hearing. Save the Sound, 3 organizations applied for adjudicatory hearing. Immediately, Iroquois' lawyers filed an objection to our application. And we filed another piece of paper, an objection to their objection, and then they filed an objection to our objection to their objection. But I have hope that DEP will have the hearing and will listen to us. Putting in electric compressors will cost more money, there's no doubt about it. This plant is going to be in place for at least another 40 or 50 years. You take the cost, the additional cost for an electric compressor versus a natural gas operated compressor, and you spread that out over 50 years, it's not that much money, and they're going to be getting hundreds of millions of dollars. And you will be eliminating 14.9 tons of a particulate matter in the air from this additional tube. Come on. That seems, DEP, your job is to protect the environment and our residents. This is not an onerous thing we're asking. We're not saying shut down, we're not even saying you can't do it. Just do it in an environmentally friendly way that will protect our residents and our children, right? It seems very reasonable to me. So we're gonna make that case, and we hope that they grant the adjudicatory hearing.
Can I ask something different? Is that okay? You guys fine? Streetscape Phase 7, I think, is on hold because of the native grassy thing.
Yes.
Have they made a determination yet?
We will be having pretty soon a wildlife specialist, not wildlife, I'm sorry, a biologist.
That grass.
Wild
Grass.
Grass
Wild
specialist.
grass.
The
thing.
grasses can be wild,
Sure.
to come in and see if that sawtooth grass is there. If they find it, I don't know what the answer is, right?
So will we have it, they'll know that in the next month or so? 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
curious.
we should know that in the next month or so.
Okay, so yeah, if you can let us know at the next meeting,
Yeah,
that'd be great.
and I don't know what the fix is, if the grass is there. We'll just have to wait. and
But if
see.
it's not, then we can start to
Yeah,
move forward.
yeah, this project's all ready to go except for that.
Yeah, that's
So
what I was
we'll start
asking
next
about it.
spring, yeah.
And walk by the signs every day.
We're past the start time now for this year.
Yep, nudge. Okay.
Do you have anything else, Steve, or you're done?
Oh, if I could just say one thing. Marcia Marion, our Chief Financial Officer, just for the record, is not here because she had a family emergency. And she apologizes for not being here. But it was a real emergency. Okay. That's it for me.
Report with the Board of Ed, the Finance Committee meeting is actually tomorrow. I can't attend, but I think Casey just sent out the reports, but I haven't had a chance to look at them, so I don't think we have anything to look at. But we can make
Next
sure that
meeting.
they're at the next meeting, so I think we have the last couple. Report of the-
Just one thing, on the audit, the auditors have been in there. They haven't found any problems, haven't found any issues whatsoever. We expect they're going to move forward swimmingly. We've given them everything they need, so they're just creating their final report.
Perfect.
That'll be our audit update.
You know, on that, Marcia told me that only 60 towns met the regulatory requirement to file their audit reports on time in Connecticut. 60 or 70, it was a shocking number to me.
Huh.
We will be filing on time.
Okay, do you have any updates for revenue and expenditures, Steve, or
We have reports on
Yeah.
every single one of those things.
I don't know if
have-
there's anything to be highlighted or?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. We have the change in fund balances by projects and closeouts.
Yep.
There's nothing surprising there if you look at it. We also give you a report tonight of the scheduled changes in fund balances by program. It lists every single grant that we have, what we spent, what the expenditures were, and what the ending fund balances are. There's nothing unusual in those. They are all working according to what the plan was.
Yep.
If you got any questions on that. We did, also you have a revenue through 6/30/2025 updated, right? And it shows we're $1.48 million to the good. We also have a reported general fund expenditure, budget versus actual through 6/30/25. There are some small variances, which there usually are, and all of those have been explained. Now, there are, when you get to this report, right, there are going to be some requested transfers, interdepartment transfers to just finally clean up the budget, as reported to the auditors and our final report. I'm not as good at this as Marcia is, so bear with me. We have a report on your capital non-recurring fund, all the changes up, down, all of those things. There is a report on the capital non-recurring fund ending August 27th, 2025. That's the one I just showed you, right? We also have revenue budget versus actual for this year. That's the one with the green, right? And we're right on target with everything. We don't have any concerns. Each of the departments is working within budget. We don't see anything on the horizon right now that's troublesome or might lead us to question if the budgets were not correct. We gave you general fund expenditure budget versus actual through September 18th. Again, no major changes, right? And everything is working well. I know this is a lot of paperwork. And the capital non-recurring fund for next year, year ending June 30th, 2026, the report, that's this year's report, right? That's an ongoing live report that goes back and forth. Do you have any questions on that, concerns?
I don't have a question on any of the stuff you just talked about, but I do have a question on something in the packet. So yours, October 7th to the Board of Finance, we did the 70,000, we tabled the 30, but then what is this lot SIP grant solicitation?
So we're gonna talk about that. The map I gave you,
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
part of the,
I think that's a new business though, so.
Is that a new
Yeah,
business?
that's.
yeah,
Is
that's
it-
under new business.
I couldn't find it.
Oh.
When I looked all through new business, I
Right, but
couldn't
then when
find
I
it.
looked at it, it didn't say and move it and bring it to the Board of Finance, it was just taking care of the Board of Selectmen.
So I'm just bringing it up while Steve is still here
Yeah.
to make motions
Yeah.
that clearly I,
I mean, we can't do anything about it, but we
Yeah.
can discuss it, we just can't vote on anything because it hasn't gone to the Board of Selectmen,
oh, okay.
right? Or has it?
Well, I think
No,
it
I
went
think
to them, but didn't
It's,
say.
it's on our, if you look at our motion
So
list,
that's
it's on the
under the-
very bottom.
Oh,
It's
okay.
It is on
the
there.
second
Is it?
item
Yes,
on your,
in number 3 in our set of motions list, it's the bottom kind of master
On
plan.
the,
This one,
Oh,
yeah, it's not on
it's in the
the,
All
pile.
right, I was trying to work off, I was trying to
because
work
it's a
off the.
separate appropriation, we don't put it in the normal
and she
inter-transfers.
didn't, it's not in the new business.
No,
That's why I was getting confused.
no, it's in the
Which one
first
is
part of
that,
it,
Ryan?
the first.
It's on this one that has all the motions for
it's
insured
in number,
departments.
it's part of number
The last
3.
line of number 3.
You have to go through all these motions, I mean.
Okay, do you want to talk about the lot zip?
Let's just
Well,
go
let me,
in
I'll
order.
let, I mean, I don't wanna take
Yeah,
over
let's,
screwing anything up. I just wasn't aware of it, so I was trying to figure out what it was and catch up and see if I missed
So that's
something.
encapsulated in capital non-recurring.
yeah, it's part of,
Yeah.
it's part of one of the motions for the new business.
Okay, so we'll wait
It's
till we
just
get
not
to new business.
specific, yeah.
I got it, no problem, I'm good.
But no, I wouldn't have seen it. Okay, any committee reports? You don't have anybody from audit here, but capital, Ryan, do you have any?
No, I'm actually attending the ad hoc, whatever they call it, community center school
Oh, good,
tomorrow, so
Okay.
next meeting I can have an update on that.
okay, great. Then,
I'll see you there.
Good to see you there. If you have a night off.
for old businesses, the internal service fund, we're going to wait till the November 12th meeting when we have hopefully a full committee in Marcia. And then the solar energy, where did the solar project
The
land?
solar project is, we had a couple questions for Verigy on the contract. We've had those answered.
Okay.
There's only one small thing, and then I will be signing the contracts.
Okay.
The contracts that we signed with them for Wisconsin are a little bit different because that contract is if the roof is in usable condition. We still have to go through with the Board of Ed and our boards, whether we can move the roof projects that are scheduled for 26, 27, 27, 28 into next year. And I asked Casey and Vonda, the superintendent, can you look at that budget, you know, that whole 10-year plan, and can you move things around to do that in the spring? You know, actually it would be first thing in the summer. They don't want to do it in next summer. And they're going to look at that, and we're going to work with them very, very closely. And then if we can, we would include the Wisconsin project. Our contract on the Wisconsin project allows us to pull out. To say, no, we can't do it. You know, we have to get the engineering to make sure the roof can support it. We think the answer to that is yes. And then we have to get agreement. There is already some, about $700,000 a roof already approved in the budget. Then they were doing this staged. we're thinking if we bring them all together in one, we'll get an economy of scale. They don't have to set up 3 different times, 4 different times. So we're gonna look at that. They're gonna hopefully go out to bid for the entire roof project. And then we'll have an idea what it will cost and when it can be done, and will it meet our requirements, right? And if they can move stuff just within their capital budget, that 10-year capital plan they have, that's what we're asking them to do, and they're looking at. Now, they have to talk to their facilities committee and the whole Board of Ed, but that's the discussion I had yesterday with Vonda and Casey, their director of finance.
As you're talking about that, I was looking at the 10-year, original 10-year study the Board of Ed had, that's what we're executing
Yeah,
to.
that's what it actually.
And then somehow I figured out, and I clicked on the Wisconsin schematic,
Mhm.
and some of the sections of roof were not gonna be replaced in the 10-year period. So maybe they're good and they didn't
Yeah.
need to be replaced, so I just wanna make sure that's the case. and-
Yeah, we will coordinate that.
So I didn't realize that, I thought we had the whole roof covered, and when I looked, it was like, oh, there's.
No, it isn't
a
a
chunk
whole
that's
roof.
not.
But we have that, but when you do these projects, right, they're gonna be up there for a 20-year lease. You want that roof to be able to last 20 years. You don't have to take stuff off and redo a roof. So we are looking at that very,
That might
very
be a
carefully.
whole, I
Right.
hope not, but, okay,
Right.
this is a good chunk. Okay.
No, that's a very good point. You know, if, I know for, like I had a bid on my house, and they said if your roof's more than 5 years old, we don't wanna do it, because it's a 20-year lease, right? So we'll look at that really carefully.
If nothing else with old business, we can move on to new business. Coming in. Okay, so here are a lot of transfers. We can start with the interdepartment transfer for year-end 2025. So that corresponds to the 2A, intra-department, inter.
And it's the third sheet, it's not the first sheet, because 25 is the third sheet of the pile.
Got it.
First you
So
should
year end
26.
2025.
Got it, thank you. Okay. So I would like to make a motion to approve the interdepartment transfers for the year end 2025 as noted in the budget versus actual expenditure report and approved by the Board of Selectmen at their October 6th meeting. Do I have a second? Okay. Let's discuss.
There's one big decision here, right? So in the last meeting we talked about, we had, I can probably dig up the number, but around $800,000
Yeah.
of excess. I think it was 810 or 840, I can find the number real quick. And so this, at the very bottom, says that we're transferring 600,000 to CNR, which is what we talked about.
Yep.
And then the other would go into basically unrestricted fund balance, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
we said we'd put off that decision, and now we're
We're here.
making
We're
that.
making
yeah.
a decision, yeah.
The rest of it is, we already discussed in the last meeting, and it's small dollars, so it's.
I feel like we're all happy with that 600. We all worked those numbers down really
Yeah.
good, and we went, we kept trying a little, trying a different number,
Right.
and I think we settled on
Yeah.
it, raising that.
19 point something.
Yeah, I like
we
that.
got
I
19
felt good about
It's
that.
good, we already used a little bit of it, right, because we did approve the scoreboard and,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the floor.
The
Yeah,
floor
floor
scrubber.
scrubber.
which is fine, but
Yeah.
we're still, so I'm still
Yeah.
supportive of this number.
I
yeah,
am as well.
me too.
Okay.
Yep.
I am too.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Okay. Now, so next is what page is this on?
This is probably still on, the last one, because it looks like it's 2025.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did all three kind
But
of
it's-
combined.
We combined them, but I guess you can just make the motion, we do it again, but they're, the intra, the inter,
Well, intro, we don't have to do. We did inter.
She did
So
enter,
if you go down this list, that's probably the easiest way.
Oh, is it
to
the
go.
whole page?
well, the front page is 2026, the back page is 2025, and the
Oh,
first,
you're in 2020, yeah.
first thing is 2025 on it.
Yep.
She's reading off of the thing.
yeah, so,
Capital is 3.
so you wanna do the intra also, right? It says,
Intro, we don't do this, just the
Yeah.
board of selectmen.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so this is the
I
the
think,
capital non-recurring for year end 25 is the middle page. So kind of working
Yeah,
backwards.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Got
middle
it.
page of pink.
Yep,
Did
understood.
not-
So we did,
The agenda isn't following.
No,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's where the
Oh.
disconnect is, that's why we're having the problem.
Yeah, this is for year end
this is
2025.
stapled backwards,
Yeah.
that's all.
We
Okay.
got it.
Okay.
Staples, you get you every time.
Can we just say we miss you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'll make another motion to approve the proposed transfers between projects in the capital non-recurring fund for the year end 2025 as shown in the attached report and approved by the Board of Selectmen at their October 6th meeting. Do I have a second?
I will second that.
Any discussion? So
This is
this,
a net improvement to the fund balance of 311,000. Great,
Yeah.
yep, moving the needle in the right direction.
yes.
And the Eversource was the big one, right there.
Yep. Yep, it says 250,000 not needed.
Mhm.
It needs, yeah,
Mhm.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Okay. And the last one, which is blue on the same page, is a motion to approve the proposed transfers between projects in the bonded capital project fund for year-end 2025 as shown in the attached report and approved by the Board of Selectmen at their October 6th meeting. So this is much smaller numbers. We've got the closeout of streetscape.
Well, was it seconded?
Oh, second, sorry.
I'll second. Watch that go.
Okay. So, yeah, here we're closing out a couple of smaller projects, and a little bit, the little small increase at the guidance wing AC replacement at the high school, and then, electrical service, so I don't have any issues with these numbers. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Okay. Now we move on
The
to.
first page.
Year end 2026. So our current.
Before you make the motion,
Yes,
so on the first one is the capital non-recurring.
and this has.
This is,
Yeah.
has a 30,000 in it,
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
gotta make that adjustment.
So do we make a motion to adjust that, minus, but that
I
message?
don't think you can.
No, because you,
Yeah,
We
oh,
It
can't,
has
yeah,
to
you don't wanna
balance, right?
approve
Yeah,
that
you-
transfer.
we can't approve
yeah,
this
we can't
transfer.
approve that one.
Well, no, I mean, why can't, because the
Because-
rest will go to the fund balance, wouldn't you just adjust the fund
No,
balance?
because I think in the past, she has to redo the numbers. Cause she does
So,
the numbers
Do
for.
you have to, does the Board of Selectmen have to? No, because you've already approved it.
No, we've already
Yeah, you-
approved it, you've tabled it, so
We
I would say
tabled it.
I
Oh,
would
we could
approve it. You make the motion to approve this with the exception
Oh,
Right.
okay,
Of the
of
30,000.
the $30,000,
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, that's the way to do it.
okay.
Yes.
which is tabled, and then you can
Correct.
just bring it up again.
That's right, so it keeps it
Yeah.
live, it doesn't.
Right, keep it live.
Got it?
Okay.
Yep.
So here we go. I would like to make a motion to approve the proposed transfers between projects in the capital non-recurring fund for the year end 2026, with the exception of the $30,000 for the police building revised schematic design as discussed earlier in the meeting, as shown in the attached report and approved by the Board of Selectmen at their October 6th meeting. Do I have a
I'll
second?
second.
So now we can ask about the master plan phase 2 engineering, if you don't mind
Okay.
giving us a little.
Sure.
So we have a master plan, you can see it there on the map. I thought this had been a while, so I got the map for it.
Yeah.
So we've applied for a lots of grant to do the master plan for the town hall campus. That would connect the Still River Greenway via pathways, up past the soccer fields, past the gazebo, and then up to the parking lot that is now just a dirt parking lot by Center Fire Company. You can see that on there. In the master plan, it also includes tiered seating and spots more for handicapped people, the ability for handicapped to get down, lower. We had this plan not approved previously. So what we've done this time, there are two things that are going on here. We've scaled back the ask. We think that the ask before was too large, and so they didn't want to commit to that amount of money. And the second is we're asking for the money because there are so many applications coming in, and what we had to do in the past was to simply get a simple design like this map. They're now requiring schematics. They're requiring the next level, the 30% level that they call 30% completed design. To do that, we need to spend money. We have to hire a firm to do that, or we cannot apply for the LOTSIP grant. It's a new requirement on LOTSIP this year, so we're asking for the $16,000 to get that completed. The good thing is we'll go out to bid, and we think the firm that created this map, a number of people who created this map have joined another firm. They're gonna bid on this. So we have people who have experience, so we think we're gonna get a good price on it because the people have done this before. And to apply for the LOTSIP, we need to get to that level of the schematics, and we need $16,000 to do that.
This
So
is
you're
14.
saying yeah,
This
and it
says
says
14.5.
14.5 on here.
14.5. Oh no, it's 16,000 total, but we had $1,500 left over from the plan before.
Where? It doesn't say that though.
It's in a prior project.
Okay.
No.
We have it in the CNR.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So we have not applied yet for this.
No, we can't apply for it
So we
unless
need-
we have schematics.
And- Okay,
Okay,
got
so
it.
we
And
need
that's
this
what
money
this
to
is
be
for.
able to.
We've applied previously, but you did not need the level of detail they're
I
required.
remember hearing about this.
Right.
So, I know there's a lot of different type of grants. For LOTSIP, do we usually only apply or only get one a year? And if so, is this the one we're gonna go for?
Yeah, this is the one,
So we're
one a
confident that
year.
We're not gonna go
You
for
can
anything
apply
else?
once a year, yeah.
Do you have any rough number of how much this overall project would be?
The original project was about 1.2 million.
Okay.
I think this one is about 600 or 700,000. It's about half. We don't have the final numbers, but
And the
it's
grant is
by
for-
half or less.
You generally have to kick in 10 to
Yeah.
20%, right?
So what we're gonna say to them is we're doing this phase project like the Fulfill High
Yeah,
School
yeah.
lights and the turf field, and they seem to like that better.
Yep.
And take, slice of pie, not the whole pie.
We'll have to budget our piece of this should we win the grant.
Yeah.
What,
next
what would,
budget.
what would our piece of it be?
10 to 20%.
10 to
usually.
20%.
That's what it was for the pickleball
Yeah,
courts.
it would be
Okay.
20%.
Okay, okay. Yeah, our grant is always,
Yeah.
we won all the grants.
I spent part of Sunday at the pickleball courts. That was the first time I'd been down there, and that project, I mean, it was like the epitome of how grants really help the town. Like, that is well-used space.
It's not on the maps. You
I
gotta get our
know.
pickleball courts on the map.
Yeah.
Well, they even named the road.
Steve Memorial
We were
Highway.
driving the outside road, it's got a name, I don't know where that came from.
Oh, that's funny. Simpson Road.
Simpson Road.
Okay, I have no more questions
Okay.
on that.
No further discussion?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Okay, moving on. Okay,
Thank you.
so, motion to approve the proposed transfers between projects in the bonded capital projects fund for year-end 2026 as shown in the attached report and approved by the Board of Selectmen at their October 6th meeting.
That's
Second.
it. You beat me to it.
Any discussion?
I can make one tiny little point. So
Yeah.
it's really exceedingly small numbers on here.
Very
The
exactly.
The dump truck was in the budget for 300,000, so it came in $2,000 higher. And somebody was telling me yesterday, I can't remember who, and I probably would say who it was, that we changed the process where we don't just put in a big bunch of contingency. So they actually have to come in for this 2,000, and
Okay.
they were
Right.
kind of mad about it.
Oh.
That's probably not the right word. But I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
Right, so this
Yeah.
is exactly, because if we had a bunch of contingency,
It's
we
full
would not have been able to
transparency,
fund some of
you
the
know what's
projects.
happening. It's-
Right,
it's-
so
Yeah.
I'd much
Good to
rather
see it.
find another 2,000
to
than have
s-
reserved tens of thousands that we could have used for something else.
So my only
Yeah.
question about that though is, does it hinder the process of them purchasing it if they have to wait for us?
I mean, if it was critical, then we could have a special meeting or something.
Okay.
I don't- I
That would be my only
Yeah.
concern about it, is if we're, if they can't sign the contract because they're $2,000 short and $350,000.
Well, yeah, that's a very fair point. I will say that we gave this group a lot of leeway in that they didn't have a bid for this truck when they
Okay.
came into the capital project, and so it was
Okay.
$300,000, a nice round number.
Okay,
Brianna would have kicked them out and said, if you don't have a bid, I'm not gonna give you anything, but
That is
there's a
generally
kind of
nice.
gentler, committee in
souls.
place now.
Man, I get one bad round of capital requests, and I kick everybody out over not having 3 quotes.
Wash, wash, wash,
And
wash
you've
with a
lived in
big
infamy
brush.
since.
And ever since then, I've been living in that.
Well, that's how you trained me.
That is true. Like, don't agree to anything without
You
quotes.
set the right expectation.
Again, he's half, it's like half my brain, it's half my name, 'cause it's this, I'm just the extension.
Great.
It's growing up right before my eyes.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? I think that's it for our motions.
Yep.
That is it.
Yes, lot of questions.
Okay. Are there any other items that come before the board? I'm aware of. Okay, we have nobody here for public comment, so I'm assuming there's no public comment, in which case I make a motion to adjourn.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye. All right, Steve.
Are you guys,
Wanna
you
turn
guys
off
are
the
up for
camera?
one meeting, right?
Wow.
Yeah,
Right? November meeting, you guys are
Yep.
still.
because the election